Hey guys, welcome back to the DrCliffAuD vlog. This is vlog number 59, and today is the big day that I get to reveal to you the finished clinic. I am super excited. I've been waiting for this for over a year at this point. We have a beautiful, gorgeous day here in Phoenix. The sun is out. It is a little bit windy, so let's go ahead and get out of this wind and get inside. All right guys, here we are in the entryway, and the first thing that you probably notice when you walk in is this absolutely gorgeous stone that we have on the front of the reception desk. This is the one thing that I was like, we have to have that wow factor when someone walks into the front door. And I've had a number of people here in the past couple weeks say that, wow, that is absolutely gorgeous. So this is one of my favorite pieces inside of the entire clinic. But the other thing that you'll notice here is that there is a really nice architectural design in here. We wanted to have a lot of soffit and all that to give a really three-dimensional look when you come into the place, and I really think that we've kind of captured that well. So I'm super happy with the way that the front desk reception area turned out. You can see that we have these acoustic panels on the wall and a really nice design. We didn't want to go with the standard tile ceilings, with the acoustic tile ceilings, because we really wanted to have more of a nice architectural element. So the problem that kind of brings in is that you get a lot of reverberation. So we wanted to have a really nice design element as well with the acoustic tiles that cuts down on that reverberation, and it definitely sounds way better in here than what it did before we put the tiles up. So that's it for the reception area. Let's head into the waiting area. This waiting area is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. It has a lot of good space, and even though people haven't really been coming in here because of COVID when we opened up, it has a couple nice elements in here. First and foremost, my favorite piece in this room is the console table. It's a very unique console table. It's made out of glass, kind of has, you know, an odd shape to it, which I love because it just draws attention to it. We found some really nice vases to put up on top of that to kind of give a contrast with the blue wall that we have. And of course, we have a TV for me to be playing my videos for people sitting in the waiting area so we can torture you a little bit with my videos. You can see that we also put up the accent pieces here of the acoustic tiles, which really helps the sound in the room. You can see that we did stick with the nice architectural elements with the soffit around the edge, with the LED lighting, which is super nice as well. And we also have a couple of my favorite plants, which are snake plants, over here in the corners. And one of the other things that we do is we actually do scents in here as well. So we will run this machine right here that actually puts essential oils into the air, and very subtle, but it's really nice when you walk in. It just has a really nice smell in here, and it's not a chemical smell because the essential oils are all natural. Okay, so that is the waiting area here. If you want to grab some hand sanitizer before we go back, make sure you get it right now. All right, so we just entered the hallway from the waiting area, and you can see that we've kind of carried the same theme throughout the entire office with the acoustic tiles here. And before I get over to the treatment rooms, which are really, really cool, I'm gonna take you into the reception area and into the office manager's room. So here we are in the reception area. We have enough space for two people to be working here at the same time. So we have a check-in and a check-out. But my favorite thing about this particular room is the actual logo that we have on the back wall. I just think that this thing pops. It is awesome. It's about a 1/2 inch of stainless steel that it has the cutout of the AH from Applied Hearing. And then of course we have the light shining down on it. So it just gives a really cool 3D look of our logo, which I absolutely love. Something that we've had obviously since the day that we opened up, and I really wanted to make that circle pop when you walk in as well. All right, that's enough here in the reception area. Let's go ahead and check out the manager's office. So the manager's office has a decent amount of space. We actually have 2 work areas here if we need them as we continue to grow, but Chris spends most of her time over here in her area. We have a refrigerator to store drinks. You know, summertime's coming, so we like to keep some cold waters in there and some other drinks for patients as well. And then of course we have to be HIPAA compliant as a medical facility, so we have a shred box over there as well. But not a whole else lot going on in this room, so let's go ahead and check out the rest of the space. All right guys, things are about to get really exciting, but what you can see here is we have the big glass walls, which is something that I really wanted in this space as well. And we even had the frosting put on, so it creates more privacy inside of each of the rooms when we're working with patients. Now, we have 3 different treatment rooms in this hallway, and I'm gonna show you the first treatment room right now. So you'll notice that this room actually has a hinged door. The other 2 rooms have sliding doors to go in, but all of the rooms are pretty much the same. They have the same layout. They have, you know, their desks with their computers. We have the reader measurement systems mounted on the desk, which is super, super cool. And then a couple of areas for storage. This room isn't built out completely yet, just because we don't have a third provider in here, but Ashley's actually been doing some work inside of this office as well. And I'll point out a couple of other key features in the other 2 rooms. All right, before we check out the other 2 treatment rooms, I want to show you the restrooms first. So let's go ahead. We've got the women's room that we're going into now. And the thing that I like the most about the restrooms, even though they are a little bit smaller than we originally intended them to be, is that we have this really awesome mirror here with the ring light and a very unique sink. And I would bet that a lot of you have never seen a sink like this, but it kind of works the same as a regular sink, only it looks a lot different. And it kind of draws the attention, so I just really, really like it. But that's enough for the restrooms. The men's room looks very similar to the women's room, just has a different picture on the wall. Everything else exactly the same. Okay, enough with the restrooms. Let's go ahead and check out the second treatment room here. As you can see, we have a really cool sliding door. This is Bryce's office, and it sounds really good in here because we have the acoustic tiles on the ceiling, and on the accent walls over here, we have the acoustic tiles on there, which I think gives a really nice artistic and functional pop to the space. Of course, we also have reader measurement mounted on the desk here, so no more knocking this expensive piece of equipment over onto the floor. And of course, you can see that there's a trend here. We really love working with the Natus, formerly known as Odometrics equipment. Definitely one of my favorite equipment brands that are out there. But the space is super, super functional. You can see Bryce's degree up there on the wall, very fitting for working here in Arizona. He went to Arizona State University, so higher local, right? All right, let's go ahead and check out the rest of the space here. Before we get into my room, I'm going to show you the test booth room. So let's go ahead and check that out as well. You can see that we did put the privacy frosting on these doors as well. They are not all glass, but they have a sturdy core wood with an inlay of glass on there as well. Over here in the corner, this is kind of where we store our irrigator. If you don't know what the irrigator is, you may know someday, because this is what actually blasts earwax out of your ears. Really, really effective piece of equipment here. If you have impacted earwax that you just can't get out, this is the tool that'll do it for you. But the cool thing about this room is the big sound booth that we have in here. We decided to go with an Echo sound booth, and it's almost eerie because when you go in there, there's like no reverberation whatsoever. It just kind of sounds odd. Now, I have to watch my head when I come into the booth. You'll probably be okay, but once we get in here, we have a really comfortable chair to sit in for doing testing. The only problem with this chair is that you might fall asleep while we're doing the testing because it's so comfortable. Other than that, over here we have our tympanometer. That's how we test, middle ear function, eardrum mobility, things like that. And then of course we have an Odometrics Astera in here as well to do hearing testing. But that's enough for this room. Let's go ahead and check out my office. All right, you ready? Okay, here we go. Again, really awesome sliding door. That is just like the coolest thing about coming into these rooms, because you don't have a door that takes up any space in the room. You just kind of slide it open, which is really cool. But you can see we have the same focal point wall with the nice acoustic tiles on there. It gives a really good sound inside of these rooms. And the other thing I'll point out is the windows. So we have southern facing windows, which means that that sun beats in on those windows all day long. We had a very specific film placed on the windows to block 75%, I think, of the heat that comes into the windows. And on the outside, it looks like you're looking into a mirror. So it's really private for whoever's sitting in the office as well. Ashley did a really good job of finding shades here that not only can like lift up from the bottom, but they can come down from the top, so you can really control how much natural light comes into the room over the course of the day. Again, really functional. That's the name of the game. When we set up these rooms, we wanted them to be super functional. There's plenty of storage for everything that we would need a lot of. So like if we're doing a lot of earwax removal or whatever it is, we can keep all the really important stuff in the room so we don't have to leave the room all the time, and some of the other stuff that we use less often we can go ahead and keep in the back. The other thing that I'll point out in here, just because it's very sentimental to me, is the American flag that we have that has the Marine Corps emblem on there. That's to basically pay respects to all of the Marines and any other armed forces members that have been killed in the line of duty. All right, that's enough for here. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the space in the back. All right, before we get into the other two rooms here, I just kind of want to point this out. This is a really cool mirror. It has no function other than it looking cool because it's kind of just a bunch of glass shards that have all been put together, but it has a really cool look to it. And then down below it, we have the caption telephone. So caption telephones are great for individuals who struggle on the telephone because you can actually get live captioning while you're talking to someone on the phone. So we have a couple of different manufacturers of those phones down here below. So if someone wants to check them out, we've got those available. And then right as I get past this plant here, we're going to go into kind of our spare room. We don't really do anything in this room quite yet, so it's not really fully set up, but as we continue to grow, this will be a great little overflow space if we need to take patients in here to do different things when we have patients in all of the other 3 treatment rooms. But really functional space in here as well, just not quite as big as the other 3 treatment rooms, and of course it has no window. All right, so that's enough for in here. Let's go ahead and check out the break area. Really nice sized break area. We have plenty of room for everybody to be eating lunch, probably even at the same time. And if we ever want to do any kind of in-service trainings, anything like that, we've got plenty of room to do that. As you can see, the cabinets and the countertop really turned out nice. Got a good sized fridge there. I need to store a lot of jelly because I have peanut butter and jelly every day for lunch. And then over here, we have the work area, the workstation. So this is where we bring hearing aids to do repairs, maintenance, things like that. We've got 2 test boxes in here to run diagnostics on hearing aids. We've got 2 Redux machines, which are fantastic for pulling moisture out of hearing aids to kind of save them from water damage, which we run all the time. We have a bunch of hearing aids here that are ready to go out to patients. Over here, we have some really cool equipment. We've got the CogniView that we can do cognitive screenings on patients, since we know that hearing loss and cognitive function go hand in hand. We have a 3D ear scanner down here as well, and suction to help clean out ear canals as well. Down at the very bottom, a couple of different things that we use to modify ear molds too. So this room, very functional, enough space for 2 people to be working at the same time. And it really helps from a space perspective of being able to keep all the maintenance stuff back here and all the treatment stuff in the treatment rooms. All right, guys, thank you so much for checking out this vlog. It's been an absolute pleasure to give you a tour through our new clinic. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel if you haven't subscribed already, and give us a thumbs up if you actually like the clinic. And as always, we'll see you next week.